And here she is, Endeavour 3, with a decoupler at the bottom because we have a contract which requires us to test one at the launch site. And there we go, contract fulfilled, and we're starting to tip over, so let's get out of here. Off we go towards orbit. This is a particularly difficult to control rocket, especially while we're using this massive thumper solid rocket fuel booster. So we are just going to take things a little slowly. We have also got some new scientific instruments which we are going to use. So atmospheric pressure scan we are going to take, and they are of course all contained now within a service bay, so they will be safe from the rigours of re-entry. We'll try and turn our rocket over just a little more, but we're not going to push it too much. We actually have two liquid fuel stages here, so it's going to be quite an expensive mission. I am going to try and implement a bit of a reusability aspect to our space program so that we can actually afford things, because otherwise this is going to be a very difficult playthrough indeed. But at the moment it is not something we're going to be worrying about. So we're going to wait until we slow down a little more, move a little further into the upper atmosphere. There we are. I don't really want to take an EVA report right now. We can, however, take a crew report, which we are going to take and transmit because we have some electric charge, I believe. Yes, we do. We can close that now. And I think now is as good as time as any to launch the second stage. There we have it. Hello. Ooh, try and gain some control back. And there we have it. Wonderful. We still don't have any kind of power storage units, so we're still sort of relying on the battery power stored in the command module, but that's just fine. Let's have a look at our apparatus. We don't have Kerbal Engineer or anything, so no cheating, no looking at things from anything other than the map view. And there we go, adjust our attitude accordingly, and we are headed off towards orbit. Wonderful, 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 wonderful stuff. Let's roll ourselves over a little more. Again, not the most efficient of launch trajectories, but as I said, I'm still a little rusty. Look at that! The sun is still freaking awesome. I'm still, still amazes me. Yeah. Oh, hello. I think our trajectory might have been a little flat. Should be all right though. And there we have it. Our second stage has been expended, and we are in orbit. Well, not in orbit. We're going to be heading into space. So we'll decouple that stage, and without any further ado, we're going to ignite our upper stage engine, which is a Rocketry, KW Rocketry engine, the Vesta, which has got quite low thrust to weight, but it is quite efficient. As such, we shall be using it. I'm going to fire it up now, because as I said, the thrust to weight is not spectacular. Actually, I don't think we need to quite fire it up just yet. We'll time warp ourselves up a little bit. And gaze upon the rather beautiful red-ish landscape below us. It is rather interesting to look at, and I'm sure we'll be exploring it much further once we develop ourselves some jet engines. We can go do some surveys of the planets below. I think that's enough altitude for now, so we will fire up the engine, and there we have it. Oh, we can do a temperature scan. Hello, we've got multiple temperature and atmospheric scans and mystery gear observations and such inside the service bay. There we go. We're now in space, so we can grab another atmospheric pressure scan, another temperature scan. So we've got a bunch of them, so we can keep all of the data all inside the service bay here. I think we have 4 of each, so we've got plenty of options. Right, let's just ignite that engine. Let's get heading towards orbit. Hopefully we have enough delta V for orbit. We should do. As I said, it's 0.8 G, so considering this rocket was pretty much the biggest we could build it for the size of VAB that we have, I think we should be alright. We'll get ourselves a little close to the apoapsis. There we go, make things a little bit more efficient. And keep burning. Yes, now I think we're just about going to make it into orbit by the skin of our teeth. And there we have it. Just a little bit more. Keep an eye on the fuel. We want to make sure we've got enough fuel to actually deorbit as well. That'll be a little awkward if we got our first Kerbal into orbit actually got stuck in orbit. That would be terrible. And there we have it! Orbit around Solitude has been achieved. And look at that. Has there ever been a more gorgeous sight than the sun exploding? Yeah, no, there probably has, to be fair, although it is rather beautiful. And we can actually gaze upon rolling plains of what used to be Duna below us. How many spare goos do we have? We've used one. We have one spare goo. I think we'll save that, actually, for whatever biome we happen to land in. Don't believe we can do an EVA. No, of course we can't. Need to upgrade the astronaut complex and develop the mystical technology known as an EVA suit. But there we have it. Orbit around Solitude. If I accidentally call it Kerbin, please do ignore me, but I should hopefully be able to remember that we are not, most certainly not, on Kerbin. There we have Orbit Solitude! Didn't tell the recovery team that you'd be staying in space, so they're still looking. Great job. Wonderful. And of course we tested our stacked a couple of... That's a bunch of contracts sorted, a bunch of money, and a bunch of science. We're going to do one orbit round, and then we are going to attempt to land near where we took off from. It's hard to actually see where we took off from because, of course, you know, everyone knows where the KSC is on Kerbin, but on Solitude it's not as obvious where we actually are. So yeah, we do want to land somewhere nearby, but I do want to land also somewhere that's kind of interesting. Actually, let's land. Oh, I don't know. I was going to say let's land on this red bit, but it's quite mountainous. I'm not sure if that would be a great idea. And here would be quite. To be fair, there's not really much on this spacecraft. So it doesn't matter if we're quite far away from the Solitude Space Center, the SSC. So I'm thinking, really, it doesn't honestly matter. Yeah, that we won't get as much money for recovery because we're not really recovering much. I guess we're recovering the rocket engine. But I think it's going to be much better to land somewhere actually interesting. So let's aim for this big red bit of land over here and see what we can find. It should be pretty cool. We do actually have a heat shield this time as well, so yeah, we've certainly advanced our space program quite a decent amount. Right, let's get the spacecraft spun around. There we have it. Make sure we ration our remaining electric charge. We do use some electric charge because, of course, we have a life support mod installed. Not TAC life support, but USI life support. Oh, look at that. It's bloody blinding, isn't it? It's going to take a bit of getting used to having a sun this massive, but it is beautiful. Anyway, let's get ourselves deorbited and stop admiring the bloody sunset. 18... yeah, no, that'll be enough, surely. That will be fine. Let's take ourselves a quick save in case the game crashes. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. We're going to have some truly spectacular sights in this series just because the solar system is so remarkably different to what it once was. But let's get ourselves decoupled. Hello. That not... somehow we're still attached. Well, I don't know what happened there, but somehow we're still actually attached to our stage. That wasn't a Kerbal launch failure. No, that was just, It seems that our engineers clearly have forgotten how to build a rocket because our decoupler decoupled but didn't actually separate the rocket in half. Okay, so we actually have a big problem on our hands because having this giant chunk of rocket attached to the bottom of our heat shield means that our center of mass is now down here and our rocket is going to want to flip once we enter the atmosphere. And yeah, the capsule is not going to react well to the very rigorous re-entry of Solitude. So what we are going to do, I think, is if we spin round, we're going to try and boost our orbit up a little bit so we have a much gentler re-entry. We'll probably skip off the atmosphere a little bit, but I think it's a much safer alternative to losing control and burning up. Where is our periapsis? There it is. Okay, we'll boost that up a little bit to 20. There we go. So we should have quite a nice gentle re-entry now. But yeah, we need to be very careful and try and maintain our attitude. Yeah, it's very annoying because Katrina's not quite a level 1 pilot yet, so we can't tell her to hold the retrograde marker or the prograde marker. We're going to have to do this manually. Oh, hello, what's this? Oh, new strategies available. That's part of the Strategia mod. I will get more into that later, but first of all, let's focus on getting Katrina back alive. This is a massive problem, and completely unforeseen, because the only mechanical fails I was supposed to have was from Kerbal launch failure, which gives a certain chance of failure on launch. I was not expecting our decoupler to fail right before re-entry, just probably from me attaching something to the wrong thing, I don't know. But whatever went wrong, we're stuck with this rocket stage. So now we're going to have to deal with that mistake. I think what we can do is try and maintain attitude for as long as possible and then jettison our heat shield. That will get rid of this bottom bit of rocket, but then we won't have a heat shield. So we can only do this once we've actually lost some of our velocity. We can't afford to re-enter without a heat shield entirely. So I'm going to keep a close eye on our electric charge because we need that to maintain our attitude. And a close eye on our fuel, because if we start to lose control, we can use the gimbal of the engine. And let's do this. Oh, there's a planet in the distance there. I don't know if you can see that. Distant object enhancement. I have no idea what the hell planet that is. If we had a telescope, we'd be able to find out and study its orbit, but that is certainly something for a later date. Right now, we're going to focus on not burning up on re-entry. Oh, this has certainly made things a lot more exciting, hasn't it? Oh, okay. Let's try not to kill Katrina Kerman on her very first orbital mission. Oh, look at the beautiful ground below us. Solitude really is gorgeous. It's so cool. Starting on an entirely new world. The problem with starting a new career mode save on Kerbin is that, you know, you're exploring the same old biomes for the 50th time. It can really get quite repetitive. Here, it's like exploring a whole new world. Cue Aladdin song. And yeah, but we're actually starting on that world. And when we get access to airplane parts and jet engines, we're certainly going to do a lot of exploration, exploring these awesome red mountains and interesting different biomes. But for now, let's stop our daydreaming and actually focus on keeping Katrina alive. Okie dokie. So as I said, if we start to lose control, we're going to make sure we fire up that engine a little bit, but we need to keep a close eye on our fuel, close eye on our electric charge, and let's time warp forward a little bit, making sure that we maintain our attitude and don't flip round, because re-entry is very, very deadly at the moment. We've got it on 120%, so yeah, that might have been a mistake. I just don't know. Got one of Solitude's moons there in the distance. I don't know if that's Guardian or Nemesis. We don't actually have orbital information on them. We need to use a telescope to study them a little bit. We can just launch a telescope at the Space Center and have a look at them. We don't need to launch an orbital telescope to do that. But once we've got our orbital information on them, we can actually start launching missions to them. We could attempt to launch a mission to them without that information, and then if we did manage to get a probe or something to there, we'd just immediately gain all the information about the body. But it's more interesting to spot it with a telescope first, I believe. That's just research bodies. I think it's a really, really cool mod. But okay, we are managing to maintain control of the aircraft for now. Ooh. This could go terribly, or it could actually be alright. I have no idea. Until we've actually done a few re-entries and found out just how dangerous it is in this universe and on this planet, then yeah, we're kind of working with unknowns here. Now the gravity might be lower on Solitude, 0.8 Gs, but the atmosphere is still just as thick as Kerbin's, and goes up to the same altitude, 70 kilometers. Yeah, it's got stronger gravity than Duna used to. I swear Duna had much weaker gravity than 0.8 Gs, but maybe during the terraforming project they smashed some asteroids into the pole or something. I believe there are plans to terraform Mars that way by either nuking or smashing an asteroid into the North Pole to melt all of the frozen oxygen and water that lies there. That would certainly add quite a bit of mass to the planet. Perhaps Ike was deorbited into it and the two new moons are completely different. I have no idea. You guys come up with your own theories. It's probably some kind of lore to the After Kerbal Planet pack. Thanks to Games Links for creating such an amazing pack. But oh hello, we're starting to lose control. Let's fire up the engine and use its gimbal to keep control of the spacecraft. I very much do not want to be losing Katrina today. Okay, we're going to try not to lose any Kerbals, but this is certainly not going to be an easy career mode, what with the difficulty settings that we have on. Hello, this is becoming very difficult to maintain control of. Need to keep a very close eye on the amount of fuel we're using as well. No. Stay within that retrograde marker. That's it. Seems to be actually quite stable if we're right in the centre of the retrograde marker. So until we run out of fuel, I need to throttle down actually because we are going to run out of fuel at this rate. I think we'll be okay. No, we're actually doing alright. We're doing alright. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. Okay, right, what we need to do is we need to spin around and try and distribute the heat. Okay, this is very, very bad. Very, very bad. Fire up that engine and give us some spin, and that means we distribute the heat around the capsule, and so that we hopefully don't burn up in the atmosphere. Oh, I thought we were going for a gentle re-entry. This is not gentle. This is very much not gentle. I need to get like a good oscillation going. That's not a good oscillation. I need to be like spinning. Like this. There we go. That's sort of distributing the heat around. And it also creates a lot more drag. So we can lose some speed. And it looks like it's working. There we go. We're losing speed. Oh, hello. Crew report. I mean, Katrina's being thrown around the inside of the capsule right now. But sure, she's probably got time to write out a detailed crew report flying over the Highlands of Solitude. Right. No, there we go. We're through the worst of it, right? Let's jettison that heat shield and get rid of that part of the rocket. There we go. Can we turn around? No, we can't. Okay, we're heading towards some mountains, so we really need to be slowing down a lot faster than we are. I need to use the lifting body effect, try and lift the nose of the capsule, get a little bit of lift out of it. Hello, temperature scan, we can do that. Hello, that's awesome. That's a mountain. We need to use this parachute. I really do want to fire this parachute. We're getting a little bit of lift from the shape of the capsule, but not quite enough. Come on, come on, come on, come on, slow down, slow down! Ah! Come on, come on! We need to be able to fire that parachute. We need to be going slower. I think it's 300 meters per second. Look at that. We're going so fast, we're actually gliding with probably the least aerodynamic piece of equipment ever made by Kerbalkind. And there we go. Wait till we're over a bit of flatter ground. Pull the parachute! Oh! Yikes. Oh, that was a bit crazy, wasn't it? Oh, but we managed it, everyone. We managed it. Yikes. That was crazy. But look at that. We're landing in a part of Duna that somehow managed to evade being terraformed just yet. Seems the Highlands are, yeah, devoid of any greenery or any life. Let's bring ourselves down and to a soft landing. Katrina's probably suffered some brain damage from the amount of how much she was thrown around during that landing. Oh, we lost something there. What did we lose? Oh, we lost a mystery goo containment unit. Oh, we better not have lost one that actually had data in it. Is this? Oh, thank God. Okay, we lost the one that didn't have any data. Oh, wonderful. Highlands of Solitude. Wonderful. Well, that was certainly more eventful than I intended it to be, but another happy landing. You know, any landing you walk away from, as they say. So, we managed to get ourselves a wonderful bounty of science from that rather exciting mission to orbit and back. And then, of course, to the Highlands of Solitude. Probably not the best landing site for me to have picked, considering we almost smashed ourselves and smeared Katrina across a mountain. But certainly it was a worthwhile risk. We've got ourselves a huge amount of science. We managed to recover even a small amount of money from our capsule, and Katrina is now ready for the next assignment at level 1, which should make our next re-entry a hell of a lot easier. And we even got ourselves a bit more of our reputation. So there we have it. I believe it's certainly time that we head into the research and development facility and have a look at what we can grab next. So we're going to grab ourselves stability. That would probably be useful for the next time we actually re-enter. We'll grab those parts as well. And what should we grab? We've got advanced rocketry, which gives us obviously some, well, more advanced rockets. General construction, which well, gives us struts and stuff. All very nice, very, very nice. Ground pylons and such as well. Aviation. Oh. Do we get... Yep, we get Juno basic jet engines. Now that could be useful for exploring Solitude. Flight control. Hello. We get some fairings. And some probes. Yep. Very, very nice. Enhanced survivability, life support, and a viewing capo. We don't need that yet, and that's fine. Oh, basic science. We get... oh, there we go. We can get ourselves some batteries, some antennas. Oh, and Science Junior. Okay, so we can only get one of these. Right now, what's going to give us the most science? I'm thinking probably basic science. We can launch some probes and hopefully actually get studying some of the bodies close to Solitude. So we're going to grab ourselves that, and there we go, buy all of the parts therein. And I believe it is long overdue that we get our observatory up and right. Oh, no, we don't have enough funds. Okay. We need 300,000 funds to upgrade our tracking station to level 2, and that will make our observatory operational, which means we can actually start spotting planets and moons and calculating their orbits. But we shall get ourselves some new contracts, get ourselves some more money so we can upgrade our tracking station and get that observatory running in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed our rather spectacular re-entry today, and I will see you all next time.